They call him the mini Mike Tyson. Short, compact, and built like a wrecking ball, Nick Ball fights as if every punch is a declaration. A reminder that power and will can shatter every expectation. From the streets of Kirkby, Liverpool, to the bright lights of the world stage, Ball has transformed from an overlooked tradesman to one of the most dangerous featherweights alive. And now, with the world title on his shoulder, the whispers are growing louder. Is this the man who can stop Naoya, the monster Inoue? Nick Ball's story doesn't begin in a gym dripping with legacy or under the guidance of a family dynasty. It begins on job sites, plastering walls by day and dreaming of title fights by night. Boxing wasn't his inheritance, it was his escape. As a kid, he started in Thai boxing before finding his rhythm inside a boxing ring. There were no amateur trophies, no golden medals, just 25 gritty fights fought in echoing halls where talent meant nothing if your heart wasn't bigger than your gloves. He wasn't supposed to be here, but Ball never asked for permission. He just kept showing up. When he turned professional in 2017, there was no buzz, no cameras, no headlines, just a 20-year-old stepping into a small ring with an iron jaw and bigger ambitions. He fought anywhere, anyone, anytime. Small shows, late replacements, short notice, it didn't matter. Every fight was a test of survival, every round a step closer to something bigger. By 2020, he had built an undefeated record through sheer relentlessness and earned a contract with Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions. But even with a platform, Ball's style stayed the same. Pressure, punishment, persistence. His breakout moment came on the undercard of Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, a night that changed everything. Standing across from him was Isaac Lowe, an experienced former champion who dismissed Ball as too small to matter. But when the bell rang, Nick Ball unleashed fury. A left hook in round 2 dropped Lowe, and by round 6 the referee had seen enough. Ball had arrived, not just as a prospect, but as a force. From there, he tore through every obstacle. Nathaniel Kakalolo tried to outbox him, but Ball's relentless assault broke him down. Jesus Ramirez Rubio, a tough Mexican southpaw, came to fight and left broken, stopped in devastating fashion. 3 straight knockouts turned the quiet kid from Liverpool into one of boxing's most feared up-and-comers. And when he faced Isaac Dogbo, a former world champion, Ball proved he wasn't just power, he was precision. Every round, every exchange, he pressed forward with mechanical intensity. By the final bell, Dogbo had been beaten and Ball stood as the WBC silver champion and the next in line for the world title. When his moment came, it was on foreign soil against Ray Vargas, a 2-division champion with height, reach, and all the advantages Ball had never known. But none of it mattered once the punches started flying. Vargas boxed smart early, keeping Ball at range, but in round 8, a clean left hand from the challenger sent the champion crashing down. Then another. Liverpool held its breath, believing their man had done enough. Yet when the decision came, it was heartbreak, a draw. No belt, no justice, just a bitter lesson learned the hard way. Never leave it in the hands of the judges. But Nick Ball doesn't fold. 3 months later, he returned, this time against Raymond Ford, the slick American southpaw and defending WBA featherweight champion. Ford was younger, undefeated, and polished. But Ball came with something you couldn't train: hunger. From the opening bell, he smothered Ford, throwing uppercuts and hooks with bad intentions. Ford rallied in the middle rounds, opening Ball's nose and testing his resolve, but the Brit refused to back down. Round after round, the fight turned into a war of will, blood, and pressure. When the final bell rang, the decision was close, but this time it was different. And new, the words Ball had waited years to hear echoed across the arena. Nick Ball was finally a world champion. The homecoming in Liverpool was electric. Fighting in front of his people for the first time as champion, Ball delivered a masterclass in destruction. His opponent, Ronnie Rios, a veteran on his 3rd world title attempt, simply couldn't handle the pace. Ball dropped him in the 3rd, battered him through the middle rounds, and finished the job in the 10th, sending Rios tumbling through the ropes before his corner threw in the towel. It wasn't just a title defense, it was a statement. Nick Ball wasn't a fluke. He was the real deal. Then came TJ Doheny, a former world champion, experienced, cagey, and fresh off sharing the ring with Naoya Inoue. For Ball, this was personal. Doheny had faced the monster, and now Ball wanted to show the world that he could do what even Inoue hadn't: break him. From the opening bell, Ball was relentless, pressing forward with his signature aggression. Doheny had flashes, using his experience to counter and move, but the pressure was suffocating. By round 10, it was one-way traffic. Before the bell could ring for round 11, Doheny's corner had seen enough. The fight was waved off. Nick Ball had just stopped a former world champion on home soil. The same man who once went 7 rounds with Naoya Inoue. The same man who couldn't handle the storm. And with that, the whispers became something louder. Ball versus Inoue. The mini Mike Tyson against the monster. A matchup made in boxing heaven. From plastering walls to plastering opponents, from overlooked amateur to world champion, Nick Ball has built a career on defying odds. He's the fighter who never cared about height, reach, or hype, only about who's standing in front of him when the bell rings. Now, with gold around his waist and momentum on his side, there's only one question left. Can the mini Mike Tyson become the man who slays the monster? If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit like, subscribe to Fightstorm, and tell us in the comments. Who wins if Nick Ball faces Naoya Inoue next?